Imagine a time when hospitals didn't exist and doctors with their advanced equipment were unheard of. How did our ancestors manage to survive and heal? As we journey back in time, we find ourselves in the world was a vast, mysterious place, and healing was a matter of instinct, observation, and a deep connection with nature. In the absence of sterile surgical rooms and advanced pharmaceuticals, our ancestors turned to the earth for their healing needs. Their methods were simple, yet surprisingly effective. From the cool, soothing touch of aloe vera on a burn to the antibacterial properties found in honey, they discovered remedies that worked, often through a process of trial and error. Nature was their laboratory, and they were keen observers, always learning, experimenting, and adapting. They mined the rich resources of the natural world, harnessing the power of plants, herbs, minerals, and even animal products. Each substance was carefully studied, its properties noted, its effects observed. Over time, they built an impressive repertoire of natural remedies, each with its own unique healing power. Not only did they use natural substances, but they also developed rudimentary techniques to treat injuries and illnesses. From setting broken bones to stitching wounds, they utilized whatever tools and resources were available to them. And while their methods may seem primitive by today's standards, they were often remarkably effective. These early healers also understood the importance of the mind in the healing process. They recognized that a positive state of mind could enhance the body's natural healing abilities. Thus, they integrated rituals, ceremonies, and comforting practices into their healing methods, providing not just physical relief, but also emotional support. As we delve deeper into the history of healing, we discover a world that was much more advanced than we might have imagined. These early healers were not just surviving, they were thriving, using their knowledge, skills, and intuition to heal and nurture their communities. So let's embark on this journey together, exploring the dawn of healing and the incredible wisdom of our ancestors. Let's celebrate their achievements and acknowledge the debt we owe them for paving the way for modern medicine. In the absence of modern medicine, our ancestors turned to nature for their healing needs. From the use of herbs and plants to the application of unique techniques, our ancestors had a diverse range of healing methods. Let's journey back in time and explore the richness of these ancient practices. The world of yesteryears was a veritable cornucopia of healing techniques. Each culture, each society, had its own unique methods to combat illnesses and promote health. From the spicy concoctions brewed in the kitchens of India to the healing rituals of the Native Americans, the diversity is nothing short of fascinating. One common thread running through these practices is the use of natural ingredients. Herbs, plants, spices, and even animal parts were used to create potions, poultices, and ointments. The ancients believed in the healing power of nature, and they harnessed it in ingenious ways. Healing was not just about the physical, it was also about the spiritual. Massages were not merely for relaxation, but also believed to balance the body's energy. Rituals and ceremonies were thought to invoke divine intervention for healing. The line between the physical and the metaphysical was often blurred, adding another layer of complexity to these practices. Herbal potions brewed over a slow fire, poultices made from crushed leaves and roots, soothing massages with infused oils, and rituals performed under the moonlight. These were the tools of the ancient healers. And while their understanding of the human body may not have been as advanced as ours, their methods were often effective. They knew how to boost immunity with the right blend of herbs, how to alleviate pain with a well-placed poultice, and how to speed up wound healing with the right mix of natural ingredients. Despite not having access to modern medical knowledge, they managed to maintain health and well-being within their communities. Despite the lack of advanced knowledge, these practices often proved effective, demonstrating the power of natural remedies. As we continue our journey through the annals of healing history, let's remember the wisdom and ingenuity of our ancestors and the diverse healing techniques they left us as a legacy. In many cultures, women played a crucial role in the healing process, serving as both healers and midwives. This was a time when the art of healing was a communal effort, passed down from generation to generation, from mother to daughter. Women, often the primary caregivers, were the custodians of this vital knowledge. In ancient societies, women were frequently called upon to treat a variety of ailments, from minor cuts and bruises to more serious conditions. They relied heavily on the environment around them, using the herbs, roots, and flowers readily available to them. These were mixed into potions, infused into oils, or ground into powders to treat the ill and injured. But their roles weren't limited to healing the sick. As midwives, women played a significant role in the circle of life. They were there at the very beginning, guiding new mothers through the arduous journey of childbirth. They knew the right words to soothe, the right touch to comfort, and the right remedies to ensure a safe and healthy delivery. This extensive knowledge wasn't something that was learned overnight. It was the result of years of observation, experimentation, and experience. They understood the nuances of the human body, the rhythm of life and death, and the delicate balance between health and disease. Yet their work wasn't just about physical healing. These women were also spiritual healers. They performed rituals and ceremonies, invoking the divine to bless and protect their patients. They understood that healing was as much a matter of the mind and spirit as it was of the body. The wisdom of these women has been passed down through the ages, shaping our understanding of health and wellness today. Even in our era of advanced medical technology, many of the remedies and techniques they developed continue to be used. Their legacy lives on, reminding us of the power and importance of natural healing methods. Women were not only caretakers but also keepers of invaluable medicinal knowledge. Their work has shaped the course of healing practices throughout history, and their contributions continue to be felt today. The line between medicine and magic was often blurred in the past, with healing practices often intertwined with mystical and religious beliefs. In many ancient cultures, the role of the healer was not just about the physical. It was also about the spiritual, the mystical, and even the supernatural. There was a deeply rooted belief that health and illness were not just matters of the body, but also of the soul. Take, for instance, the traditional healers of indigenous cultures. They were often seen as mediators between the physical and spiritual realms. Their role wasn't just to treat physical symptoms with herbs and potions. They also performed rituals, prayers, and ceremonies designed to appease spirits, cleanse auras, or restore spiritual balance. In parts of Africa, for example, traditional healers, known as sangomas, would often incorporate elements of divination, dream interpretation, and ancestral spirits into their healing practices. They believed that illness could be a result of spiritual disharmony, and that healing required addressing these spiritual elements. In the ancient Celtic tradition, the Druids were revered as both priests and healers. They believed in the healing power of nature and the spirit world. Their practices often involved rituals performed in sacred groves, where they would call upon the spirits of nature for guidance and healing. Even in the Christian tradition, faith healing, invoking the power of prayer and divine intervention, has been a long-standing practice. Miraculous healings are often attributed to the power of faith, the divine, or the supernatural. These practices were not just about healing the physical body. They were about healing the spirit, the soul. They were about restoring balance, harmony, and wholeness on all levels. It's important to note that these practices were not seen as separate from medicine. They were an integral part of it. They were the medicine of their time, the best understanding people had of health, illness, and healing. In our modern scientific world, we may be quick to dismiss these practices as mere superstition or folklore. However, they offer us a glimpse into how our ancestors understood health and healing, a perspective that incorporated the whole human being, body, mind, and spirit. These practices were not only about healing the body, but also the spirit. Nature was the main pharmacy for our ancestors, with herbs and plants serving as key components in their healing recipes. Let's take a journey back in time, where the forests, gardens, and meadows were the primary sources of medicine. Our ancestors keenly observed the effects of different plants on the human body, learning through trial and error which ones could soothe a fever, ease a toothache, or even mend a broken heart. From the vibrant echinacea, a native North American plant used by indigenous tribes to combat colds and infections, to the versatile aloe vera, known for its remarkable skin healing properties, nature has provided a vast array of medicinal plants. The humble garlic, a common kitchen ingredient, was once revered for its antiseptic properties and used to prevent infections. But it wasn't just about the physical healing. Many herbs and plants were also employed for their spiritual and emotional healing properties. Plants like sage, lavender, and chamomile were used to cleanse spaces, calm the mind, and promote peaceful sleep. While these natural remedies were often life-saving, they weren't without their risks. Dosage and preparation were crucial. Too much of a certain herb could be harmful, even fatal. And some plants that were beneficial when applied topically could be poisonous if ingested. Over the centuries, much of this knowledge has been lost, replaced by modern pharmaceuticals. Yet, we're seeing a resurgence of interest in these ancient remedies. More and more people are turning back to nature, seeking alternatives to synthetic drugs and rediscovering the healing power of plants. But it's important to remember that while these natural remedies can be beneficial, they should never replace professional medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare provider before starting any new treatment. These natural remedies, often dismissed today, were the lifeline of our ancestors. So, as we journey forward into the future of medicine, let's not forget the wisdom of the past, the lessons learned from nature, and the healing power of herbs and plants. With the advent of modern medicine, many traditional practices have been pushed aside, yet some have managed to adapt and survive. This adaptation is a testament to the resilience of these ancient practices and the wisdom that they carry. The impact of modern medicine on traditional healing practices has been, without a doubt, dramatic. The arrival of antibiotics, vaccines, and advanced surgical techniques has revolutionized healthcare. These advancements have brought about a shift from a reliance on nature's pharmacy to a reliance on pharmaceutical companies. But this shift hasn't been complete or universal. In many parts of the world, traditional healing practices continue to play a significant role. These practices have evolved, incorporating modern medical knowledge without losing their essence. For instance, traditional Chinese medicine now often includes the use of modern diagnostic tools, while Ayurveda in India has integrated modern pharmaceuticals into its practice. This evolution is not just about survival, but also about synergy. Modern medicine has started recognizing the value of traditional healing practices, leading to the emergence of integrative medicine. This approach combines the best of both worlds, using modern scientific knowledge to enhance and validate traditional practices. Moreover, the rise of antibiotic resistance has led to a resurgence of interest in traditional healing methods, particularly those involving medicinal plants. Scientists are now looking to these ancient practices for potential solutions, exploring the medical properties of plants and herbs that have been used for centuries. In the end, it's about balance. Modern medicine has its strengths, particularly in treating acute and life-threatening conditions. Traditional healing practices, on the other hand, often excel in managing chronic conditions and promoting overall wellness. By combining these two approaches, we can create a more holistic and effective healthcare system. Despite the leaps in medical science, the roots of healing remain deeply embedded in the past. It's a reminder that while we should embrace the advances of modern medicine, we shouldn't forget the wisdom of our ancestors. While we marvel at the ingenuity of our ancestors, it's important to critically evaluate these traditional healing methods. When we look back in time, it's easy to romanticize the past, especially when it comes to traditional healing methods. From herbal potions and poultices to rituals and ceremonies, these practices were born out of necessity, observation, and trial and error. They were the foundation of healthcare before the advent of modern medicine. Yet, these practices were not without their limitations. For one, traditional healing methods often lacked the precision and predictability of modern medicine. The dosage of herbs, for instance, could vary greatly, leading to inconsistent results. In some cases, these remedies were beneficial. In others, they could be harmful or even fatal due to an overdose or unknown allergic reactions. Furthermore, there was a lack of understanding about the underlying causes of diseases. Without the knowledge of germs or viruses, healers attributed illnesses to spirits, bad air, or an imbalance of bodily humors. While this often led to creative and sometimes effective solutions, it also resulted in treatments that were at best ineffectual and at worst harmful. Despite these limitations, it would be a mistake to dismiss traditional healing methods outright. Many practices, such as the use of certain herbs and plants, have been validated by science and are still in use today. For example, willow bark, a common remedy for pain and fever in ancient times, contains salicin, a compound similar to aspirin. Similarly, the benefits of practices like yoga and meditation, once considered mystical, are now recognized by modern medicine. Moreover, traditional healing often took a holistic approach, considering the individual's overall health and well-being, rather than focusing solely on the disease. This perspective is gaining renewed appreciation in our modern health landscape, where stress-related illnesses are on the rise, and the importance of mental health is increasingly recognized. Understanding our healing past gives us a unique perspective on our health present. It reminds us that while we've made great strides in healthcare, there's still much we can learn from our ancestors. After all, healing is as much an art as it is a science. As we journey through history, we uncover the rich tapestry of healing practices that have shaped our health and well-being. We've traveled through time, exploring the diverse techniques from herbal potions to mystical rituals that our ancestors employed to heal and protect. We've recognized the pivotal role women played as healers and midwives, safeguarding generations with their knowledge and skills. We've delved into the mystical and religious aspects of healing, where faith and medicine intertwine. We've discovered the sheer power of herbs and plants, nature's own pharmacy, utilized in countless healing recipes. We've examined the impact of modern medicine, witnessing the adaptation and survival of traditional practices. And we've critically evaluated these methods, appreciating their benefits and acknowledging their limitations. This understanding offers us a deeper appreciation of our healing heritage. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. Let's continue to explore, learn, and understand the mysteries of our past.